rain dance, rain song, rain dance. Drip, drip, drop, little April showers, beating a tune as you fall on the ground. Drip, drip, drop, little April showers, what can compare to your beautiful sound? Beautiful sound, beautiful sound, beautiful sound, beautiful sound. I'm doing this because it hasn't rained for about 13 years. And much as we're loving this sort of early summer, I suppose it's the only good thing. And of course the shed. We do need some rain because the hydrangeas are wilting well. Hello everyone. Welcome to episode 32 of Stilgoe in the Shed. And for those of you who are fans of reversoids or palindromes or spoonerisms, today is April the 23rd, 32nd show on the 23rd, 32, 23, 32, 23. Lovely. It's like I'm Carol Vorderman. Hey, it's Carol Vorderman, say the young people watching, she is a maths genius. It's St. George's Day. Does anyone celebrate it? I think we should. St. George was... I think he was from Belarus or Macedonia, somewhere like that. Let's just tilt that hat. Sun time, says Shane Hampshire TV. Do you want a made-up song? St. George's Day. St. George's Day is on the day of April the 23rd. April the 23rd. St. George's Day. No one celebrates. No one knows what it's for. It's a national day, but everyone's too frightened to say, because being nationalistic isn't very English. What do we think? Hello Shane, anyway, how are you? Very patriotic top. No, this is actually Italian, so or French. Can you hear those birds? We always love a made-up song. Thanks, everyone. Hope you're all well today. Hope everything is okay where you are and with your families extended, and we're still keeping sane and out of mischief on this. 1,003rd day of lockdown. Lockdown! I can't even speak today. It's because I did a late show last night. Thank you, Richard. That was quite sometime. You can also do the slow sometime. When it goes slow, it isn't fast. You drop a beat and you hope it's past without noticing the people there. St. George's Day, and it's nearly May, when the melody doesn't quite sit in with the chords you're playing underneath the thing, and everyone celebrates St. George's Day. St. George's Day. St. George's Day. What do you say? Are you au fait with all the days, the national... I think I'm enjoying that more than you are. So, yes. So I think I'll move on. I promised Flapjack yesterday, and I never played it because we didn't have time. So I'm going to do Flapjack for all of you asked for it. I think Perrine led the charge. And as I still haven't made your mugs, I feel like I owe you. So this is an old song of mine called Flapjack. Never released it, never recorded it, because it's really it's a humble ode, pain to the OT, the king of the OT baked goods. I've tried to learn the secrets of the populist, when I'm invited out. I know you shouldn't swear or ever get too drunk, or start a fight and keep your elbows and opinions down. Never say this virus is fake.
No, it's not fake.
But the same all you have to do is learn to
Bake? I don't know how to bake, but I know that I've eaten up.
Guys, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to do a Donald Trump impression in the middle of the song. I've lost my way with the lyrics, and I've lost my way with all of you. Let's get to the chorus. But I never made a flapjack on my own. Years I made it look like Toblerone. What is the trick to make it stick with Hollywood? But I should have made a flapjack from the book. Never mix it up when trying to cook. I might not make the greatest bake in town, but I'll never put a flapjack down.
I'll never put a flapjack down.
Meanwhile, as I'm struggling with another batch, struggling, not struggling, I'll put aside. Let's start again. Meanwhile, as I'm struggling with another batch, this is it. Should I put sultanas in? I cry. Are these eggs supposed to actually hatch? How about some chopped up bananas? Always try to find a recipe. Let's just keep the whole thing clean. But the golden syrup's everywhere. I failed this haute cuisine. Okay, so never made a flapjack on my own. This is like a scene from Home Alone. What is the trick to make it stick in Hollywood? But I should have made a flapjack from the book. Never mix it up when trying to cook. I might not make the greatest bake in town, but I'll never put a flapjack down. You'll never be a baker, you're just a Quaker faker down. In Hollywood, but I should have made a flapjack from the book. Never mix it up when trying to cook. I might not make the greatest bake in town. I'll never see Mary Berry's frown.
I might not make the greatest bake in town,
but I'll never put a flapjack down. No, I won't. And we ended in A flat minor, so how about that?
A flat minor. I'm not saying you don't know what A flat minor is, but for me, it's the best of all the keys. Fantastic key. Oh, what a key. Oh, what a key.
Guys, that was Flapjack. Ballsed up again. Sorry for my language. So it's April the 23rd, St. George's Day. A few of you have suggested pre the show, you suggested some pertinent songs, appropriate songs. But Knight Rider, seriously? What else? Lots of you have suggested Puff the Magic Dragon. So I'm going to play it in the style of Bill Evans. Why not? I have to hunch over. Give me a key to play this in, please. Amanda Ward, what are you talking about? That guy had serious hair. And you were talking about Eccles cakes. Do you know it's easy to say? I don't, Andrew, but whenever I see a song I've never heard of, I just make it up. It's hard to play. Night and Day, very good. Night and Day. You are the one. A major, Bethany. And Penny backs that up with an A. Why would you choose A? Good for guitars, bad for pianos. Anyway, here it is. Just to prove this is an A. Here, this is a C, 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 C. We all know. Jack Wilde. Didn't you play Artful Dodger? You guys carry on. Puff the Magic Dragon, I promise. Somebody also suggested sort of 90 songs, 90 sort of armory songs. So I'm going to do, not the Knights of the Round Table, but I'm going to do a song sort of inspired by that, which I wrote for my musical version of this, which we've talked about on the children's show. This is Zog. This is the wonderful Zog by Julia Donaldson, and as I've mentioned before, the show was on tour all around the UK, and then that was stopped, postponed, but now they're rebooking all the dates this autumn, and it's such a lovely show, and so great to be involved with it, and to work with genius that is Julia Donaldson and all that gang. So this is Gadabout, who is the knight, and he's like all good knights, an absolute wally. Turns up in his armour, and is sort of not quite sure what he should be doing or what his life's ambition is. Anyway, this is Gadabout. Coconut. Don't say that, Patricia. I'm Gadabout. I see you're rather glad about me riding through the forest, adding drama to the scene. I'm Gadabout, he's Gadabout, but I must say I'm not mad about this armor, cause it makes it really hard to do a wee. I gallop o'er the kingdom, fighting dragons with my sword, and I once went on a day trip to France. But now I've been a knight so long, I'm really rather bored, and all I want to do is dance. I'm Gadabout, I love to preen and pad about. I've had 100 lessons, ballet, modern, jazz and tap. I'm Gadabout, there's nothing to be sad about. You should be jolly grateful that I won't be doing rap. I foxtrot and samba, pola-cha-cha or samba, or 12 specific ballroom dancing styles. Freestyle, I'll break dance, or do the garden rake dance. I'm like a good old-fashioned knight on the trials. I'm Gadabout, ha-ha! Oh, skipping's my new favourite. Skipping is my favourite, it's the best thing you can do, and it's very good for firming up your thighs. But I like yoga, and I'm really into darts, but my favourite thing is boxercise. He's Gadabout, there's always a brand new fad about. He's had a million hobbies since he first became a knight. I'm Gadabout. I'm sure you're probably right about the way I juggle apples to a quite alarming height. I start with a nice pink lady, and I fling her in the air. A Brabant next, and finally a jazz. I whistle the lambada, and I move my derriere. It adds a little soupçon of pizzazz. Gadabout. Give me a G. G. Give me an A. A. Give me a D. Give me an A. Give me a B. O. U. T. Is Gadabout. Is Gadabout. Is Gadabout. 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 Wait! Don't be silly or a little bit sad. Kneel before me and pray to Gad. Gadabout the Great. Gadabout. Oish. So that's Gadabout. What a beautiful romantic song it is. Gadabout. Gadabout. Yes, I could see some chat about worries about when it's all going to happen again. The Society of London Theatre, thank you, Della. Is it Della, not Delia? It is Della. I like... Oh. Invigorating. Thank you, Amanda. He's invigorating. He's alarming. He's excoriating. But he's charming. I'm writing songs as I go. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, about when it's all going to happen. Well, this has been a worry for me. Do I rebook my gigs in for the autumn, or will people not feel confident enough to go back out? It is an issue, isn't it? But let's hope we all can, because it's a long way off. August is even a long way off. September. So yes, the Society of London Theatre have suggested it's not going to be until September, but some people think November, but who knows? Let's hope for the best. That's what we should do, hope for the best, but get people who know what they're doing to guide us. So the optimists can be right. So it is April the 23rd, and you know what else it is, apart from St. George's Day? It's Shakespeare's birthday. William Shakespeare. Not Mr. Shakespeare, my design teacher at school. I think it was spelled differently, but he did keep going to Stratford. Anyway, William Shakespeare is something like 437 today. If anyone could look that up. I forget. Hey guys, it's a bad time to have a barking dog. That stopped him. There was an angle grinder earlier, just there. And I was going to make him famous. I mean, I don't know if it was a he, but someone was grinding ankles. Just quite a funny link, really, if you're thinking about St. George's Day, grinding angles. No, maybe it's a joke for historians. Anyway, it's Shakespeare's birthday, and a few years ago, I was asked to be part of this Shakespeare celebration at St. James's Palace. And Prince Charlie was there, and Camilla, and it was all very, very, very smart. And I was completely outgunned. It was people like Hugh Bonneville and Ian Bostridge and Joseph Fiennes and brilliant actors and actresses. And they were all doing Shakespeare, reading Shakespeare bits, and I was asked to do a couple of Shakespeare poems, songs set to music by the wonderful Nigel Hess, who's written beautiful film scores, but also for plays. And this is one of the ones I did. It's called Sigh No More, which you might have heard, and it's from Much Ado About Nothing. So I just thought I'd dig it out. I haven't done it since then, but it's Shakespeare's birthday, and my pal Jamie Parker has just done a brilliant video of him singing and playing the complete works of Shakespeare by John Dankworth and Cleo Lane. So look up Jamie Parker's, who is Dick LaFennick on Twitter. So look up his version of that, because he's sickeningly talented. And should, quite frankly, be world famous and possibly the next Bond. Anyway, here it is, Sigh No More, with proper sight reading by me. So this is very old worldy, it's 500-year-old language, so don't think I've ditched all my modern sensibilities. It's also a fairly silly song. sigh no more. Ladies, sigh no more. Ladies, men were deceivers ever. One foot in sea and one on shore. Do one thing constant never, then sigh not so, but let them go, and be you blithe and bonny, be blithe and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe into hey nonny nonny, into hey nonny nonny, sigh no more, lady, sigh no more. Sing no more ditties, sing no more ditties of dumps so dull and heavy. The fraud of men was ever so, since summer first was leafy. Then sigh not so, but let them go, and be you blithe and bonny, be blithe and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe into hey nonny nonny, into hey nonny nonny, sigh no more, ladies, sigh no more. Let them go, let them go, let them go. There's a little thing for Nigel Hess, who I really enjoyed working with and is a wonderful composer. Hope you enjoyed that little bit of something different for you guys. Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Bev. Thank you, Caroline. That's who I've seen on the screen, on the screen. Do you know? Do you know? Pretty outro too. Oh, Bethany, all I did was this. Sort of. And then things you can't see. What am I doing? Don't show the legs! I'm wearing shorts today. Normally I wear full jodhpurs and kodpies, but today it's blindingly warm, so I'm wearing shorts. Don't knock it. Right, before we go, I'm not ending it. I was going to dedicate the song to the director of photography because she's been wrangling two small children this morning. And letting me wallow in my shed, and I do work, but it doesn't, it feels easier. And on lockdown, there's no let up. So anyone with small children or any children out there, here's to you, raising a glass. You sunburnt your knees yesterday. It's okay, Lizzie. That's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a bonus. Because if it wasn't sunny, you can't sunburn yourself. Anyway, I was going to dedicate the song to her, but she came in and said, just remember it's Claudia's birthday. And Claudia is a wonderful friend of ours. And she and the director of photography became very close because they had children minutes apart from each other when we lived in London. And we love them dearly, and we miss them, and it's her birthday today. Good, Claudia, that you share it with old Willie Shaky.
Really shaky.
How did William Shakespeare sound? I imagine he's sort of, did he have a sort of Midlands accent, like a little bit of one? Or was he terribly, was he Laurence Olivier? Terribly well spoken. Who knows? Happy birthday, Claudia. Fred, if you want to get in her good book, it's Cloud, as in Cloudia. Spell that right and she'll be your pal. Anyway, this is, we were listening to Songs for Swinging Lovers, Frank Sinatra album, my favourite of his. They kind of got me into the old Sinatra thing. There's old Frank. There he is. Hello, Frank. I love that photograph. Oh, now we're a little bit askew. Askance. I love that photo because he's holding a paper cup, disposable, but also he's at the piano because everyone thought Sinatra was just a singer, just turned up, but he was intricately involved in all the arrangements. He taught himself how to be a conductor, even though he couldn't read music. And in fact, he conducted a couple of albums for Peggy Lee. Nelson Riddle was sort of his musical mentor, but I know he was a bit, let's not delve into his personal life, because if you do that with all your heroes, then it ends in tears and court cases. But he was a supreme musician. He didn't play the piano particularly, but I love that photo because he's there. He's there being the master of his craft. Anyway, this is You Make Me Feel So Young. This is for you, Claudia. If you wanted a short intro, go to a different shed, mate. I always, when I'm asked to do people's birthdays, well, when I used to, when we all were allowed out into the world, people would ask me to come and play for their birthdays, special occasions. This was often a request. People love this song because that's the word young in it. You make me feel so young. You make me feel so spring has sprung. And every time I see your grin, I'm such a happy individual. The moment that you speak, I wanna go and play hide and seek. I wanna go and bounce the moon just like a toy balloon. You and I are just like a couple of tots running across the meadow, picking up lots of forget-me-nots. You make me feel so young. You make me feel there are songs to be sung, bells to be rung, a wonderful fling to be flung. And even when I'm old and grey, never I'm gonna feel the way I do today, because you make me feel so young. Since you said it, I'm now addicted to playing an A, even though it's horrible for jazz. B flat. Just like a couple of tots running across the meadow, picking up lots of forget-me-nots, picking up lots of forget-me-nots. You make me feel so young. We got there. You make me feel there are songs to be sung, bells to be rung, a wonderful fling to be flung. Even when you're old and gray, I'm gonna feel the way I do today, 'cause you make me feel so. You make me feel so. You make me feel so young. Here are the emails I forgot to read out. Hey Joe, loving the shed shows, blah blah blah. Compliment, compliment. With 3 adult children quarantined in Boston and Chicago, a poorly 84-year-old mum in Tunbridge Wells, unemployment, a missing cat, and a distinct lack of any motivation whatsoever. You punctuate my days with joy. Thank you, thank you. Tomorrow the 23rd is my old man's birthday. He'll be 59. He's had the dubious pleasure of being married to me for 25 of those years, so deserves some sort of recognition. Of course, his name is Peter Lipari. Peter Lipari. A quick mention would make my day, which means his day will be so much better as well. After all, happy wife, happy life. Seriously though, he is the toppest of top blokes and my heart's desire. That is lovely. Thanks, Joe, for being a compliment. Big love, Jemima, Merry Sunshine. Oh, Jemima, thank you. That's the loveliest email. Also, I should read out this one. Dear Joe and Director of Photography, compliment. I made a cheeky request last year for a Peter Allen song for my mum, Michiko Allen, who is in isolation back in Sydney, Australia. I also love Ben Folds, and your comments on last night's show about him reminded me that he did an amazing version of the Peter Allen song, I Still Call Australia Home. Yes, Scott, I looked it up. It's great. I love that. I'm sure you could do it or one of Peter Allen's other songs. Could I also be doubly cheeky and ask for a dedication of a good song to swing dance to? Well, the reason why I thought of your email is because this is a lovely one. You make me feel so young. Compliment. Swing dance to swing to for my swing dancing teachers Chris and Lucy Taylor, who are tirelessly putting together weekly video lessons for our swing dancing class in Oxford. Thanks, Joe. Best wishes. Scott Allen, a swing dancing Australian now living in Oxford. So what I'm going to do is start this song again. Which is an odd thing to do, but we're all about odd. So this is for Claudia, for Scott, for Peter Lapari, and for the swing dancers, Chris and Lucy Taylor. Nice bouncy one, this. You make me feel so young. You make me feel so spring is sprung. And every time I see your grin, I'm such a happy individual. The moment that you speak, I'm gonna go and play hide and seek. I wanna go and bounce the moon just like a toy balloon. You and I are just like a couple of tots running across the meadow, picking up lots of forget-me-nots. You make me feel so young. You make me feel there are songs to be sung twice, bells to be rung, and a wonderful fling to be flung. And even when we're old and grey, I'm gonna be the one to hear you say, oh, you make me feel so. You make me feel so. You make me feel so young. You all make me feel so young and loved, and a little bit less lonely in my shed. Thank you for joining today. Thank you to the regulars. Thank you to anyone new for joining in. Stilgoe in the Shed. I can be found online on my website, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, MySpace, Yahoo, Ask Jeeves, AOL. So April the 23rd, Shakespeare's birthday, Claudia's birthday, Peter Lapari's birthday. I love you all. Thank you very much for coming. Oh, I didn't know what I was going to say. So this is the most awkward ending to a song I have ever done. Bye-bye! Actually should have finished in A major.